Okay, so let's dive into one of the most terrifying goals in all of cosmic lore, the creation of the fifth world. And right off the bat, you need to know this isn't some natural next step in evolution. No, this is an endgame. It's a forced singularity, an event engineered to completely rewrite the very architecture of existence. The source for all this, the Codex of the Five Worlds, uses this single, absolutely chilling phrase to describe it. A singular, totalitarian will. Think about that. This isn't about creating a new universe. It's about forcing all of reality, every being, every thought, into one, single, all-consuming consciousness. Right, and that's the big question, isn't it? How do you even do that? This isn't a war you fight with ships and armies. This is a war that's waged across the fundamental laws of reality itself. So, to really understand the endgame first, we've got to understand the game board. To get a handle on this apocalyptic plan, we first have to look at the cosmic ladder that our villain is trying to completely shatter. You can think of it as a kind of hidden evolutionary path for divine power.
So, according to the Codex, reality has gone through these stages. The first world was all about raw, primal power, home to these universal archetypes, the original monstrum pantheon. Then came the second world, where all that immense power kind of decayed, watered down into folklore and myths. And that brings us to the third world, our current era, which is defined by this terrifying fusion of perfect magic and perfect science.
And I love this analogy the Codex uses to explain this cosmic breakdown. Think about it. You have the original, pure sound. That's the first world. Then you have the echo of that sound, fainter, less distinct. That's the second. But the third world, it's like a synthesizer took that echo and is now twisting it into something new, something artificial and distorted. Each step loses a little bit of the original soul. And this slide just illustrates that devolution perfectly. You start with something like the wolf god, a massive, universal concept, the embodiment of nature's rage itself. And over time, that primal force decays into Jack the Ripper, a localized, specific horror story, a ghoul king, as the Codex calls him, born from city fog and human fear. The power is still there, but it's smaller, it's dirtier, it's decayed.
So who is the architect of this insane apocalyptic plan? Well, they rise from our current era, the Third World. They're a new breed of monster, what the Codex calls the completed old gods, born from that perfect, horrifying fusion of magic and science.
The mastermind here is an entity from the third world called Faustus, and his power comes from something called primal ascension. Now, this isn't just waving a wand, it's the ability to tap into what's known as the Omega imprint. Basically, the raw, chaotic source code of reality that existed before our universe was even born. Tapping into that is what gives him his god-tier status, and it is the absolute key to his entire plan. And once you achieve that god-tier status, you unlock a whole suite of terrifying, reality-bending powers called the Omega effect. We are talking about beams that don't just kill you, they literally erase you from existence. The power to reshape matter and reality just by thinking about it. It's absolutely off the charts.
But out of all these powers, the Omega Sanction, or the Life Trap, it stands out as just uniquely cruel. It's a psychological and spiritual weapon. See, it doesn't kill you. Instead, it traps your mind in an endless loop of fake, synthetic lives, with each one getting progressively worse and more miserable than the last.
And that's the whole point. It's the ultimate prison. This isn't about life and death anymore. This is about eternal, inescapable suffering. It's the ultimate demonstration of absolute control, not just over your body, but over your very soul.
Okay, so now we can see how all these pieces fit together into the final goal, the Fifth World Project. Because with this level of power, Faustus isn't just planning a simple conquest. Oh no, he's planning a total system reset for all of reality. Faustus's masterstroke is what the Codex calls a great cosmic bypass. And the strategy is right here. He plans to take the raw, primal source power of the first world and merge it with the mechanical, technological perfection of his own third world. But what about the fourth world in the middle, the home of his rivals, the new gods? Well, he's just going to skip it, bypass it, and erase it from the timeline completely.
By forcing this insane cosmic leap, he's not just adding another chapter to reality's book, he is forging two completely opposite eras, ancient, primal chaos, and modern technological order, and smashing them together into one terrifying new reality. And in the process, he deletes the entire existence of his greatest enemies. It's not just winning a war, it's making it so the war never even happened.
So this brings us to the true horror of it all. What really is the fifth world? Because it's not a place you can visit, it's not another dimension, it's a state of being that you are forced to become.
It's described as an Übermensch reality, which is like the darkest possible interpretation of Nietzschean philosophy. In this new world, individuality is gone. It just ceases to exist. Every thought you have, every action you take, every part of your soul just becomes another tiny extension of Faustus himself. You don't live in his world, you literally become a piece of him.
And this is where his other powers start to make a chilling, new kind of sense. Remember that self-resurrection ability? It's not just a get-out-of-jail-free card to cheat death. It's practice. It's the engine he's using to overcome the limitation of having a single body, the first step towards becoming the sole, omnipresent reality.
Which leaves us with this final, really provocative thought. In this dark vision of the cosmos, the answer to that question is everything. When you finally conquer your own end, the only frontier left to explore is ending everything else by absorbing it all into yourself.